Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings, so not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, excuse me, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, this week you have the Temperance card. Now, yes, it's about balance, alignment, all of those things, but it's also about patience. There's two things that I want to say to you. This week, I feel like you're going to need to have patience with yourself, and you're also going to need to have patience or develop or discover patience for someone or something that you either don't agree with or can't tolerate. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, hang on a sec, we're Cancerians. We're very nurturing and nourishing and patient and kind. You're all of those things, but you can also be a crabby bitch when you're ready at the same time. I know, because I have my moon in Cancer. So before anyone tries to get offended, I'm not here for it, okay? This week, the thing with the Temperance card, sometimes it can represent a situation that we're drawn into that either has nothing to do with us or is over the top drama, and it's like, do I really want to be a part of that? Do I really want to get into it? That's the question that you're going to have to ask yourself. If you are going in for it, you're going to have to develop a much stronger patience faculty than you currently have to deal with whatever it is. All right, so just be wary this week. Your foundation card is the King of Wands. So this is a Sagittarius male. King of Wands, fire sign male, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Temperance card is ruled by Sagittarius. So a Saggy man in some way, shape or form is going to feature for you. This could be a boss, it could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be somebody that you're about to meet. Whoever they are, they come up very strong. Now, the other thing that you need to be very aware of here as well, whatever this drama, challenge, issue, feisty situation that comes up, it may take a much more serious turn than you expect. So I just want you to be very wary about going in for something, all right? Now, that being said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you're new to my channel, you know, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button, all right? So for your actions and options this week, you've got the Four of Pentacles. I like this because it means that you're standing your ground, right? So you're sticking to what you feel is right or what you believe. Now, the Four of Pentacles can sometimes also see us getting in our own way. You add that to the Temperance card, I'm going to be really honest with you, I don't feel like your patience is where it usually needs to be, right? Or where it usually is, rather. So, rather than getting into something, I would say it's probably best for you to ask yourself this week, is this my battle to fight? Is it something that I actually want to go in for? Something that somebody said to me, I think it was about 3-4 years ago now. I had a whole bunch of trolls. I have them every week, every month, without fail. But someone said to me, if it was something along the lines of, if the dog stops and barks at every issue on its path, it will never get to where it's going. And that really struck a chord with me, and I was like, yeah, actually, you know what? I could save myself a lot of hassle, right? So this week, you are going to have to think about this. Is it a battle that is worth fighting, or is it just going to keep you stuck in a situation that you're in that you don't want to be in, all right? So there's somewhere here that you're going to have to take control, but from a different angle. For your communications and conversations, this is so uncanny, and it's the second time this has happened today. Look at this, right? You got the Temperance card with the Temperance card, so you got a double hit of this energy. When it comes to your work, when it comes to your profession, what are the battles that are worth fighting, and what are the ones that you should leave well alone? Now, that being said as well, the Temperance card can sometimes, I've seen very often actually, not just sometimes, very often represents a healthcare professional, right? So there's something about this that comes up that I would like you to look into for yourself. Now, when it comes to your work, again, be very, very clear on what you're getting into and why. For those of you that work for somebody else, this week you might be asked to pick a side, right? And if that is the case, I had to think about what I was going to say then because it nearly came tumbling out of my mouth. Maybe this week, whether it's your employer, whether it's your boss, as it could very well be, especially because that King of Wands came up earlier, if it's your boss, if it's a superior, usually the boss has the company's best interests at heart, right? That's how they get to their position. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have your best interests at heart. And it's really, really important this week that you find a way to navigate what looks like it's going to be quite an interesting or possibly stormy bit of weather when it comes to work. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, slightly different energy, but this week, I don't think it's even about having to lead by example. I think it's more just a case of this week you might have to say, you know what, you do you, I'll do me. And it really is going to be the best way that you get forward, because if you get into this, you're going to be stuck in it for a while, right? And remember, Cancer finds it really hard to let go of certain things. I know, because I have my moon there, and I've done a lot of work with that, right? So for those of you that are retired or no longer working, I'm not going to give you a sermon, you don't need it. Excuse me. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, this week you may be spending some time with or around healthcare professionals and possibly in a hospital. I don't know why, but I get this. Well, no, I do know why. There's a feeling here that this week somebody is having liver issues, challenges, problems, and quite possibly failure. Now, really interesting, because the next card that comes up is the Page of Cups, right? If there is someone in your midst that you know drinks too much, this week I would be on standby, because it may very well get the better of them. I truly hope that I'm wrong on this front, but something to be aware of. If this person is maybe abuses substances, etc., you may be called into that. And again, you know, maybe there's a part of you that's like, I'm done with this. I'll support you until you're better and on your feet. But outside of that, it's done. You are going to have to really think about that. For those of you that are in those kinds of partnerships, the Page of Cups is asking you to really pay attention to how you actually feel in the connection that you're in. Do you feel safe? Do you feel like you're in a loving environment? Or do you feel like you're in a challenging place? For those of you that are single, this week, I think in a lot of ways, whatever kicks off with the family, you may have to attend to that. And there might be a moment at which something occurs to you where you're like, you know what, this is why I don't have a relationship, because I'm always dealing with other people's shit. Or it could be just on the other side of it as well. The reason I don't want to be in a relationship is because I'm reminded of all of this, right? You're going to have to dig past the surface with that, all right? So that's another thing. For your money and materials, you have the Two of Swords. No big purchases, no big investments this week. If there is something that you're planning to purchase or buy, it kind of looks like that you don't have all of the facts. So just be careful, all right? You just want to be aware and alert when it comes to those kinds of things. Partnerships and business collaborations when it comes to money and the exchanging of money, I would be very cautious, just because it is the Two of Swords. You don't have all the information yet. And then finally, when it comes to money, resources, because of that Temperance card, I almost want to say to you, something that a colleague, I say a colleague, somebody that works in a similar field to what I do, she said there's a reason that I don't swap services. And this week I would be cautious of that as well. I won't go into why, you know, I'll let that sit with you and see how you feel about it. For your physical health and vitality, like I said, somebody else's liver, it looks like there's a liver issue going on here and it could be quite serious. For a select few of you, it looks like this week is a good week to go and see the optician, to go and have your eyes checked or tested or looked at. When it comes to your home and environment this week, it's like you want peace at all costs. And I'm sorry to say, I'm not sure you're going to get it. As long as you're prepared for that and you know, stay in your, I don't want to say bubble or lane, but stay in your own energy. Don't let people pull you away from that, because once they do, you're already off-piste, right? And you don't want to be there. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Having an interesting week. It looks like you will. Remember, you're going to have to find that patience this week. It's going to be very important, especially to navigate what looks like it could be quite a tricky week. With that said, I wish you all of the best. Take care, and I'll see you soon.